The story begins with a young girl named Melissa, who was heading into the forest to start a new job as a forest ranger in order to fulfill her dream and get away from the troubles of the city. It was her first day, so she was on her way to her lookout tower. On the way, her boyfriend kept sending her messages. Because of these messages, Melissa got distracted by her phone for a while. But as soon as she looked back at the road, she suddenly saw a man standing in the middle of the road. She panicked and immediately slammed on the brakes, stopping her car. She then got out of the car to look for the man, but she couldn't see anyone there. Melissa couldn't understand where the man had suddenly disappeared. Just as she turned back toward her car, the same man suddenly appeared standing right behind her. She scolded him, saying that standing there like that was dangerous, but the man didn't say anything. He only gestured that he was not allowed to speak. Melissa found all of this very strange and started wondering who this man really was. Just then, another man named Sam arrived there with his friend. Sam explained that the man was his friend Skier and that he was monitoring this area of the forest. Hearing this, Melissa felt a bit relieved. However, Melissa then noticed their weapon, which made her suspicious that they might be hunting there. Hearing this, Sam explained to her that they were only monitoring the area and carried weapons solely for their own protection. He also told her that there was no restriction on carrying weapons in the forest, so there was nothing to worry about. Melissa found no reason to stop them, so she let them go and continued on her way. After driving a little further, she reached her lookout tower, where there was a closed gate. She got out of the car, opened the gate, drove the car inside, and then came back out to close it. However, she didn't notice that at the same time her car radio had suddenly started malfunctioning. Anyway, as she was closing the gate, she saw an unknown car speeding toward her from a distance. Melissa panicked and hurried to shut the gate. The car stopped right in front of her, and the stranger sitting inside stared at her, making the atmosphere strange and tense. To avoid any trouble, Melissa immediately got into her car and decided to leave the place. Soon after, she reached her lookout tower. There, she met a young man named Billy, who seemed to be in a big hurry. Melissa told him about the strange incident she had experienced on the way, but Billy showed no interest in her story. He simply said that Captain Edgewood didn't like excuses. He added that the job wasn't very difficult and that she would have plenty of free time there. He also mentioned that he had seen many strange things in this area. Hearing this, Melissa felt a little uneasy. As soon as the conversation ended, Billy quickly picked up the car keys and left without wasting any time. After Billy left, Melissa excitedly climbed up the lookout tower. There she found some basic supplies. After a while, she started feeling bored, so she decided to bring the rest of her things inside. After that, she tried to contact someone over the radio, but the radio wasn't working because the generator was turned off. She immediately went downstairs and started the generator. When she checked the time, she realized that she was already late in submitting her report. After a lot of effort, when she finally made contact over the radio, her boss expressed his annoyance about her being late on the very first day. Melissa kept trying to explain the reason, but just as Billy had said, her boss didn't believe any of her excuses and advised her to be more responsible. After that, Melissa began monitoring the forest through binoculars so she could write her report. Suddenly, a bird flew into the glass, hit it, and fell down. Seeing this, she was startled. She then completed the day's report and turned off the radio. With so many problems on the very first day, she felt a little disappointed, but she didn't lose heart. She went downstairs and took a photo of the bird before burying it. By evening, she sent her final report of the day and spent some time enjoying the beautiful view of the forest from above. The calmness of the place gave her some relief. Later at night, while she was cooking, she heard the voices of another ranger over the radio. Melissa immediately went to the radio and contacted him. The ranger was working at another station. He told her that he had been stationed there for quite a long time and had been in contact with Billy for about a month. Melissa thought that Billy should have gone home by now, but the ranger explained that he had taken 3 consecutive shifts and would be staying there for 2 more months because he really loved the job. He also said that earlier, many people wanted to become forest rangers, but now very few people are willing to do such work. When Melissa said that she too had come there by her own choice, the ranger became happy. He then said that 2 types of people come there, some who are searching for something in their lives, and others who come there to escape from their trouble. He asked Melissa why she had come there, but before she could answer, he postponed the conversation to the next day, wished her good night, and turned off the radio. After that, Melissa put on her headphones and tried to sleep. Suddenly, near the tower, a bright object was seen falling from the sky. The next morning, Melissa did some light exercise and then went outside to take a bath. At that moment, she felt as if someone was watching her from a distance. Feeling uncomfortable, she immediately returned to the tower. In reality, Skier was watching her from behind the bushes, but Melissa didn't notice him. She quickly went upstairs and began inspecting the forest with her binoculars, but she didn't see anyone. So Melissa ignored it, sent her report, and went out for a short walk. While walking, she noticed a dangerous trap on the ground. Using a piece of wood, she carefully disabled it and continued on without stopping. A little further ahead, she found something strange, what looked like the skin of an animal with blue-colored blood on it. Seeing this, Melissa was shocked. Just then, she heard some noises nearby, and her attention shifted in that direction. There, she saw a discarded speaker and a tent set up close to it. She turned off the speaker and peeked inside the tent, but there was no one there. She was just about to leave when suddenly a woman appeared standing in front of her. The woman had severe burn marks on her legs and was muttering in a very strange voice. Melissa realized that she was injured and needed help. She supported her and slowly began guiding her toward the lookout tower. During this time, she learned that the woman's name was Conley. As they moved forward, Melissa noticed a large area of burnt ground around the tent behind them. After reaching the tower, Melissa made Conley sit on the stairs, as she was constantly speaking incoherently out of fear and panic. Melissa decided that getting medical help was the most important thing. She quickly went upstairs to call for help over the radio and to bring first aid supplies. However, while climbing the stairs, her solar panel accidentally fell and broke. Still, Melissa kept herself calm and focused on calling for help. She explained the entire situation over the radio and requested a rescue team. In response, she was told that Captain Edgewood was patrolling nearby and would reach there soon. Hearing this, Melissa immediately came back down with the first aid kit. But when she reached downstairs, Conley was no longer there. Looking around, Melissa saw Conley standing a short distance away, staring toward the forest. Melissa went up to her and tried to understand what was wrong. Conley still didn't say anything, but the fear on her face clearly showed that some great danger seemed to be approaching. Meanwhile, Captain Edgewood was patrolling with his team when he received the message about Conley's rescue. He didn't like the situation, but he was forced to do his duty. Reluctantly, he decided to help Melissa and headed toward the lookout tower. When Edgewood reached the tower, Melissa immediately told him about Conley's burned legs and her critical condition. One ranger took Conley to the vehicle, while Edgewood angrily approached Melissa. In a stern tone, he reminded her that her real duty was to stay in the tower and keep watch for forest fires, not to wander around the forest. Before leaving, he ordered her to fix the solar panel before the next report. Because of all these events, Melissa was mentally exhausted. She lay down to rest for a while and didn't even realize when she fell asleep. When she woke up, she realized that she was late in sending her report again. Still, showing responsibility toward her duty, she immediately sent the report. In her mind, however, she feared that this time she would surely be punished. Fortunately, another ranger responded on the other end. He told Melissa not to worry and reassured her that everything would be fine. After that, Melissa went downstairs and started the generator again. When she came back up, she noticed a bag lying on the ground. Out of curiosity, she picked it up and opened it. Inside were several different kinds of stones. Later that night, she tried to look up information about those stones in a magazine and kept thinking about the strange things Conley had said. Just then, Roy called her. He already knew about the entire incident. He encouraged Melissa and told her that if she hadn't helped in time, Conley might not have survived. Roy's words gave Melissa some relief, and she felt that at least she had done her job properly. Meanwhile, a large storm could be seen forming in the distant sky. Elsewhere in the forest, Skier was also seen wandering around. He seemed to be searching for something on the ground when he found a glowing stone, exactly like the ones Melissa had found in the bag. Just as Melissa had finished talking to Roy, the light suddenly went out. She thought that after such exhaustion, it would be best to go to sleep early. She put on her headphones, but then her phone suddenly shut down. At the same moment, the radio turned on by itself without anyone touching it. Melissa found this very strange and cautiously moved closer to the radio. She picked up the microphone and asked if anyone was on the line, but there was no response. As she stepped back, the frequency suddenly began changing on its own, and a terrifying voice echoed from the radio. Hearing this, Melissa was frozen with fear. The next morning, she didn't feel the same enthusiasm as before. Still, she continued to carry out her responsibilities. Although Edgewood had ordered her to stay in the tower, Melissa ignored the order and decided to inspect the camp. She packed her bag, came down from the tower, and headed into the forest. When she reached the burned campsite, she began taking photographs. Just then, a camper arrived and started talking to her. He wanted to know what might have happened there. Melissa didn't have a definite answer. She only said that it might have been an animal attack. The camper asked if he should be worried since his own camp was nearby. Deep down, Melissa knew that this was definitely not the work of a bear. It was something else, and far more dangerous. But she didn't feel like talking anymore, so she quietly continued her work. The camper understood her silence and returned to his camp. Before leaving, he advised her to be cautious. Hearing this, Melissa became more alert, and as a precaution, took a photo of him as well. That night, Melissa sat on the balcony of the tower, staring into the dense forest in the distance. She couldn't fall asleep, so to pass the time, she started talking to Roy over the radio. Roy once again tried to understand what Melissa was running away from in her life. He realized that he was asking something very personal, but but he explained that his wife had been a psychiatrist, so he had some experience understanding human emotion. During their conversation, Melissa learned that Roy's wife had passed away recently. Hearing this made Melissa sad, but Roy said that when he looked at the trees and mountains from the tower, he remembered only the good memories of his wife. Listening to Roy's words, Melissa began to feel a sense of closeness with him, so she started opening up about her feelings. She told him that she had come here to find a new meaning in her life. She had not been happy in her old life at all, and she felt that staying in this place might help her heal. She also realized that she was running away from her problem. Roy encouraged her to face her fears and to do what truly brought her happiness. The next morning, Melissa completed her routine duties as usual and then quickly headed into the forest. The same mysterious man she had seen before was also seen wandering in the woods. As Melissa moved deeper into the forest, she suddenly began to hear frightening noises. The sounds kept getting louder, and out of fear, Melissa started running. While running, her foot got caught in a hidden trap. She struggled to free herself, but sharp pain shot through her leg, increasing her fear as the terrifying sounds echoed around her again. Just then, the same mysterious man appeared and helped Melissa out of the trap. Although he freed her, Melissa still couldn't trust him. Because of the pain, she could barely stand and thought she might not be able to walk anymore. Understanding this, the man immediately offered to take her back to the lookout tower. Hearing this, Melissa was shocked because she had never told him about her lookout tower. The man claimed that Melissa herself had mentioned it earlier, but now everything he said seemed strange to her. Thinking this, Melissa slowly stepped back and clearly told him that she no longer needed any help. He kept trying hard to gain her trust, but Melissa remained cautious and continued moving away from him. Suddenly, the man became angry and forcefully said that he had to take Melissa back no matter what. Hearing this, Melissa was terrified. However, she quickly gathered her courage and pulled out her bear spray, aiming it at him. The man said her action was a mistake and angrily claimed that Melissa had something that belonged to him. He warned her that he would take it back no matter what, whether she agreed or not. As the man stepped forward, Melissa immediately sprayed the bear spray at him, but it had no effect. This only made the man even angrier. He snatched the spray from her hand and forcefully told her to come with him. At that moment, Sam and Buck arrived at the scene. Realizing what was happening, Sam immediately grabbed Melissa and pulled her back, while Buck stood his ground in front of the man to stop him. The man kept advancing toward Buck. Buck tried to fire his gun, but he missed. In the next moment, the man reached Buck and grabbed him by the neck. He then pulled a strange object from Buck's pocket and in that instant, killed him brutally. Witnessing this horrifying scene, Sam and Melissa panicked and ran toward the car to save their lives. They quickly got into the car and tried to escape. But as soon as Sam started the engine, the mysterious man suddenly appeared again, standing right next to Melissa and staring at her. Before the car could move, the man used his supernatural strength to grab the car and stop it. Melissa reacted quickly. She picked up Sam's bow and aimed it at the man. Seeing this, the man released the car and warned them that they would meet again soon. On the way, Sam was angry with Melissa because he had already warned her about the strange and dangerous people in the area. Melissa was still in shock and couldn't understand who that man really was. Sam clearly said that he was not a normal human being, but something like a demon. This made Melissa even more uneasy. She then asked Sam where Skier was. Sam replied that they were going to look for him, as he had disappeared during the attack. They moved ahead and soon found Skier lying injured a short distance away. Sam immediately got out of the car to help Skier and told Melissa to stay inside the vehicle. Just then, Melissa saw the man returning. Terrified, she started honking the horn to warn Sam and tried to start the car, but it wouldn't start. When she turned around, the man was standing right beside her. He violently tore off the car door and was about to grab Melissa when Sam attacked him from behind, knocking him to the ground. Sam tried his best to stop him, and a fierce struggle broke out between the two. In the middle of the fight, Sam took out the glowing stone from his pocket and threw it far away to distract him. As soon as the stone hit the ground, the man paused for a few moments. Sam seized the opportunity and grabbed him, trying to choke him. Taking advantage of this moment, Melissa ran and hid in a nearby cabin. However, the man soon overpowered Sam and stabbed him, killing him. He picked up the strange object from Sam and began moving toward Melissa. Melissa tried to crawl away, but the man searched for her while saying that he only wanted the thing Melissa had taken from him. He warned her that there was nowhere left to run. He said that if Melissa agreed, he might let her go. Then he moved toward a nearby tent, thinking that Melissa was hiding there. But it was a trap, and taking advantage of it, Melissa escaped from the other side. Just then, Skier appeared again. He asked the man what he had done to him. Smiling, the man replied, "I gave you a gift that your human body could never give you." Realizing this, Skier told Melissa to run and decided to face the man himself. However, the man reached him with lightning speed and struck him repeatedly, killing Skier. During the fight, the mysterious man's attention once again turned toward Melissa. Terrified, Melissa stepped back and tried to run, but escaping was useless against his supernatural speed, and within moments he was standing in front of her. Melissa picked up a piece of wood lying nearby and tried to steady herself. Only one question was running through her mind. What did this man actually want from her? The man simply smiled, as if he knew that Melissa still didn't understand the truth. Melissa tried to attack him, but he easily blocked her strike. At that moment, Melissa noticed a strange amulet on his hand. From his gestures, it was clear that this amulet was just a small part of something much bigger, and that Melissa was unaware of an important truth connected to it. He grabbed Melissa by the hair and began dragging her, but Melissa picked up a stone from the ground and struck his wrist hard, damaging the amulet. Seeing this, the man went mad with rage and turned back to attack Melissa. Just then, Melissa struck him hard on the head with the same stone, and within seconds, blue blood began to flow from his head. Seizing the moment, Melissa ran away. Seeing the blue blood pouring from his head made the man even more furious. He continued chasing Melissa, but his body was growing weaker. Melissa ran until she reached her lookout tower. She quickly climbed up, hid the unknown stones, and picked up an axe for protection. At that moment, a stranger appeared inside the tower. Seeing this, Melissa became even more frightened and cautiously stepped back. Then she realized that the stranger was none other than Roy, the same person she used to talk to on the radio every night. But immediately after, the mysterious man climbed up and forcefully pushed Roy, throwing him down from the tower. The man then entered the tower and began searching for the stones. Melissa, trembling, looked down at Roy lying below. Gathering her courage, Melissa decided to fight back. She picked up the remaining stones and threw them down from the tower. The man ran after the stones. Melissa also came down with the axe and went to Roy. Roy was still alive but severely injured. Meanwhile, the man desperately searched for the stones, only to realize that they were just ordinary rocks. Furious, he rushed toward Melissa, and as he attacked, Melissa struck his shoulder with the axe. In pain, he fell to the ground, and Melissa collapsed there, exhausted. At that moment, it is revealed that this creature can transfer its consciousness into any body. Suddenly, Roy's body began to shake and convulse strangely, as if the creature was trying to take control of him. Seeing Roy in that state, Melissa panicked and ran toward the car. When she picked up the radio to call for help, the creature itself began speaking through the radio. Then it started dragging Roy's body toward Melissa. However, because of Roy's severe injuries, the creature was forced to leave his body. Within seconds, Roy returned to normal, collapsed on the ground, and began breathing heavily. Soon after, Edgewood and Billy arrived at the scene. Seeing Melissa's terrified condition, Edgewood didn't ask many questions. He immediately put her into the car and prepared to take her away. Billy was left behind to inspect the bodies in the surrounding area. There, Billy noticed some black slime and touched it without thinking. Edgewood told Melissa to stay in the car while he went to the tower to collect his belongings. He told Billy that he would now take over Melissa's post since finding new rangers was difficult. Edgewood then left with Melissa, and meanwhile, Billy found the stone in a supply bucket. In the end, it is revealed that the creature has now entered Billy's body. And with this, the story comes to an end. If you like the explanation, don't forget to like and comment on the video. And for more fun and unique stories like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel.